Kel'el Ware is a straight up beast.
Said it, I'm golden. Told you I'm shining. Had to break through. Plan perfect timing. Giving no hand.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my 5-part series where I'm ranking the top 5 draft picks that the Miami Heat should target at number 15 in the NBA draft this year. Make sure to like the video and subscribe because I'm on the grind to 5K subs before the start of next basketball season, and I greatly appreciate it. Dude, you're wasting your time. We're trading the pick for Spider. Oh, don't get your hopes up. Remember what happened with Dame? Dude, both of y'all got to get out of here. These people got a video to watch. I do feel stupid though because for a while I was pronouncing it Kel'el. I told you to subscribe. I can't be the only one, right? It looks free. Exactly like that. But anyways, it's Kel'el Ware, and he's coming in at number 4 on my draft wish list for the Miami Heat. So technically part 2 because we're counting down from 5 to 1. Make sure y'all check out yesterday's video on Devin Carter. But with all these guys, I'll give you a scouting report first so you can become familiar with their game, and then along the way I'll kind of describe how I think they fit in with the Miami Heat. So I went to 5 different websites to kind of see where they have him slotted at in the draft. That would be NBADraft.net, USA Today, Bleacher Report, The Ringer, led by that bum Bill Simmons, and CBS. And across those websites, they have Kel'el Ware at number 23, 21, 16, 17, and 26. So obviously some variance there. I think we're going to see that with all of these guys just because there's really no clear-cut guy in this draft. There's no clear-cut order, right? So there will be a lot of variance. So in this case, they have him from 16 to 23. The Heat pick at 15, so he's kind of right in the middle there. Now, Kel'el Ware went to Oregon and then USC. He was at each for 1 year, and during his senior season at USC, he got a lot more minutes. That's sort of the first time he got a lot of playing time. His role was completely different, and over there, he played 32 minutes per game. USC? He didn't go to USC. Why did I write he went to USC? I'm realizing some mistakes in here while I'm doing this. Kel'el Ware went to Indiana. I don't know why I wrote USC. That would be where Bronny James went to school. But anyways, at his second season at Indiana, let's update the notes. He played 32 minutes per game and averaged 16 and 10 with 2 blocks, 59% field goal shooting, and get this, 43% on threes at 1.3 attempts per game. But still, to shoot a 3 a game, that means he can do it, right? And the reason that is interesting is because, I guess I didn't even mention, the dude is 7 feet. And you know we get a little bit of excited when these big men can shoot those threes. But I will say, though, he is a 63% free throw shooter on 4.5 attempts. So that's obviously not great. He was 71% as a freshman. So that's promising, but that was only on 2 free throw attempts per game. So obviously as his volume from the line got up a little bit, it dropped, his percentage dropped a little bit. Now 63% is, I guess, average for a bad big man, right? So it's not super concerning, but a lot of times when you have these guys that shoot good percentages on 3 or even bad percentages, but it's on low volume, you kind of look to their free throw shooting to get a hint of how good their shooting would be. And in this case, it's not super promising for Kel'el Ware, but hey, at least we know he's capable of attempting threes because that means that that's a skill set that he's already ahead of the game on. It's not like if the Heat got Zach Edey, they might have to develop that from scratch, which Edey's form is okay itself, actually. But you get what I'm saying. Edey shot like 2 threes in college. This is very clearly a part of Kel'el Ware's game. Now, across my research, I found a few player comps for him. I heard Jarrett Allen, which I like a lot. I think I'd like that on the Heat. A lot of people would have spacing concerns, but I'm more concerned about our size, interior defense, and lack of scoring. So I think Jarrett Allen would help that. I also heard Brook Lopez, which would be nice, right? Brook Lopez maybe 3-4 years ago would have been perfect. Let me not say perfect on the Miami Heat because he was a very poor rebounder, but he could block shots and he could stretch the floor. 2 things that the Heat desperately need from sort of that 4 or 5 position. But I do think Kel'el Ware is a little bit of a better rebounder, way more athletic than Brook Lopez ever was, and did average 10 boards a game in college. So he was a bit of a double-double machine. But the last comp that I heard for Kel'el Ware was Miles Turner. Miles Turner, I think we can all agree, would be perfect in this Heat system. Stretch the floor, interior defense, rebound. What more do you need? And he's having a hell of a playoffs right now. They're actually playing Boston as I record this right now. I'm recording all 5 of these parts on the same day because I'm going back home to Fort Lauderdale for the next few days. My boy Will is getting married. If y'all remember my series Wednesdays with Will on this channel, those were good times, man. But we both been busy since. But he's getting married, so I'm going to be in the wedding and out of town for the next few days. So I wanted to have some content for y'all. But anyways, Miles Turner would obviously be awesome at the Heat. And if that's Kel'el Ware's upside in this draft, I'll take it. Now, he turned 20 years old in April, so he's still very young, and his official combine measurements are 7 feet tall with a 7'4" wingspan, a little bit bigger than 7'4", it came in at 7'4.5", and 230 pounds. So not super skinny. He's not, super big either, but he's not one of those lanky 7-footers like a Chet Holmgren or something like that. I think 230 for a 7-foot frame is pretty decent measurables right there. Now, he is a great rim protector. Makes sense given the player comps he has, and obviously in this heat system, something they desperately need, because anytime someone blows past one of our guards, because we don't have good perimeter defenders as it is, we don't have a dominant shot blocker in the paint. Bam will get you some. Obviously, he is an elite defensive guy. He will alter a lot of shots, but he's not necessarily a shot blocking guy. And it doesn't matter if you actually block the shots, if you alter the shots, that's still interior defense, I guess. But a lot of times, Bam isn't even in position to do that because he's obviously on the perimeter guarding guards and wings, because he can do that too. So it would help to have a guy like Kel'el Ware standing there in the paint that could deter a lot of guys from that, so everything isn't super easy for the other teams going into the paint. Now, he's a great athlete, has tons of agility. So I love everything I'm hearing so far, because if you think about the last several centers the Heat have had, they're slow as molasses. Thomas Bryant, ugh. Orlando Robinson, ugh. Myers Leonard, ugh. Dwayne Dedmon, Cody Zeller. These are a bunch of bum big stiffs. That's why I don't want Zach Edey either, man. Not to compare Zach Edey to Cody Zeller. I understand. Cody Zeller was a top 4 pick in the draft, though. So he actually did have a lot of promise. But anyways, I like having some size that could run, especially in this Heat defense that plays a lot of zone, which means you have to rotate a ton. They like to switch everything. Having a guy that is actually agile is something that this team needs. Plus, the Heat play super slow, and that's a part of the reason their offense suffers. If they could play faster, if they weren't slowed down by a big lumbering center and they were able to run the floor with a guy like Kel'el Ware, I think that would drastically help their offense as well. I said earlier, an absolute double-double machine, something the Heat need, because they are a terrible rebounding team. And back to the shot, he's got good form on the shot. So I know the free throw numbers we said weren't great, but if you look at his actual form, I like the follow through. I like the arc. He's not one of those 7-footers that alligator arms it because he's kind of tall. It is a lot of promise on the shot, and that's something that has me excited. So if you're unfamiliar about Kel'el Ware, you may be saying, how's this guy going to fall to 15? Why is he number 4 on my draft prospect list? I literally said he's an athletic 7-footer that could block shots and shoot the 3. Well, across my research, pretty much everyone was saying that he has a tendency to be a bit soft, has a low motor. I saw a few people saying he lets his offense affect his defense. If he's missed a few shots, didn't hit a couple free throws, he kind of has a tendency to sag off on the defensive side of the ball, which I hate. There's very few things that frustrate me more than that. And he just overall doesn't seem like a Heat culture guy. And part of the reason I think the Heat are so successful when drafting is they don't exactly look at the stats, or they don't look at the combine, right? All these tangible physical tools. They look at what's in the heart. And it sounds cheesy, sounds corny, and I know a lot of Heat fans are tired of it because they just want some athletes. But I think part of the reason they've drafted guys who are so successful is because they draft guys who are dogs. And what are dogs going to do? They're going to work. So you compare guys that want to work with this Heat system that has the best coaching development staff in the league. That's how you turn these somehow unknown guys into elite role players who end up getting a bag. So I always like to lean towards guys that are Heat culture guys when going in a draft. So that's why me personally, I do have Kel'el Ware a bit lower on here. He's also, he needs time to develop. He's a bit of a raw prospect, I guess is the good way to say it. And I do think the Heat are more poised to win now, obviously, if they're keeping Jimmy Butler. That's why I love the pick of Jaime Jaquez last year, even before he started playing. Said, okay, good. The guys are a little bit older. That's something that I do personally like. Not saying that he can't take a younger guy and they can't be ready now. I just don't think it's Kel'el Ware. He's more of a rim runner at this point, and still needs a lot of time before he's a finished product, which I think can be a great player one day. Maybe the Heat culture even rubs off on him. You know, could go two ways, right? The Heat culture got Dion Waiters in shape for a season, and then he started eating gummies on the airplane, and it all went downhill. So you can only keep a guy Heat culture for so long sometimes. I don't know anything about Kel'el Ware personally. Maybe just he wasn't in the right situation at first. Back at, where did he go to school? Oregon, right? So it's hard for me to say. We're making assumptions based off things we've heard. Maybe it's a game of telephone. One GM hears something, they talk to another GM. I don't know. I just don't like to make assumptions about a guy that I've never met. But these are just things we heard. And if it's true, that's why I got him a little bit lower on my list. But all the other stuff is great, right? Talked about pick and lob threat, pick and roll threat, pick and pop threat. These are all things that he could need. 7-foot rebounding machine, could maybe even play next to Bam. Ideally, it sounds like it could be an absolutely perfect fit for the Miami Heat. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. Let me know what y'all think down below. I've had a lot of people in my comments tell me that this is the dude they want. My boy Gadio Cartagena, he said this is his guy, even though when I asked him for a player comp, he said Kel'el Ware is Jackson Hayes with a development system. That kind of turned me off because Jackson Hayes is a bum, but maybe it's because he never had a development system. Anyways, that's all I got to say. I already said that. Like the video, subscribe. I'm on the grind to 5K subs by the time the season starts, so I can't do it without y'all. Part 3 will be out tomorrow, so stay tuned. Peace out.
Pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.